Hey there, fellow Fateless. This is another guide for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning / Re-Reckoning, and we're going over the locations of the backpacks in the game, which raise your maximum inventory space by 10 each. Having these backpacks can raise your measly 70 at the start, up to 130 inventory slots. Don't worry, DLCs will be gone over too, minus Fatesworn because it's not out when this video comes out. Let's go get those backpacks. The first backpack in Kingdoms of Amalur is not far from when you first start the game, and it is located in the first village you find yourself in, Gorhart. The corner shop just off to the right when you enter Gorhart is where Rika Egest has her business set up, and who will sell you a backpack once you have around 7,500 gold to spare. The next backpack is in the Summer Fae city known as the Gardens of Issa. The main quest, Old Friends, New Foes, will lead you here, and if you try to get to Issa any earlier, it'll be blocked off to you, so it's important to follow the main quest up until this point. After you do get to that point, the Gardens of Issa will open up to you, along with many locations to peruse and explore. The northeast section of the main city is where a lot of the merchants are, and the Asker's Alley Tavern is not far from where the merchants reside. You can walk up to the bar in Asker's Alley and speak to Riona Helt, and this is who you're looking for if you're after a backpack, and she will be selling it for around 7,200 gold. The third backpack in line is in the city of Rathir, northeast of the plains of Arethel. From the entrance of the city, you'll want to take one of the following gates to access the upper city. Once in the upper city, head south and look for the extremely clear Scholia Arcana markings. After you've reached the Scholia Arcana courtyard, go straight ahead to the main hall, and inside the main hall, take your first right. This is where Will Donnell is, and he sells potion and alchemy recipes as well as a backpack. For the next backpack, we'll be going to the city far to the south in Rathir known as Adessa. And like the Rathir backpack, in the circular town center of Adessa, you have the Arcadium, which is where a lot of merchants congregate, and right across from that is the Dominus Politica, which translates to the political house. Head inside and you will be looking for Seneker Masit, a blonde gnome who happens to be wearing a backpack. He offers many miscellaneous items including, you guessed it, a backpack for you to take home as well, for around 7,800 gold. Follow the main story long enough and it will lead you to Rathir to finally go across the water to the war that's happening at Mel Senshir. Besides being a battleground of sorts, a lot of Mel Senshir is populated by NPCs that you can get things from as long as you have the coin, be they skill trainers or merchants. In your line of sight as soon as you enter the Mel Senshir gates, on the left will be a Dokafar by the name of Ilan Doldrin, a general goods merchant that will also sell a backpack for around 8,700 gold. You should have that much gold at this point. I was contemplating including this information because there is an exploit to get more backpacks out of Ilan, and that's simply by killing him and then waiting a few in-game days for him to respawn, at which point his vendor inventory respawns too with a backpack, letting you get as many backpacks as you want, but through an exploit, so use at your own risk. It might mess things up. Now we move on to the DLCs, specifically the Teeth of Naros DLC for Kingdoms of Amalur. The quest for going to this DLC will show up automatically in your quest logs, so locating it shouldn't be a problem, but once you reach the lands of the Colossi and finish the introductory quest Rites of Passage, Sikandra, your first contact with the Colossi, will grant you entry into the city of Idylla. After getting up to the floating city, the east side of Idylla is where you will find the market. Just inside the entrance and to the right is a Colossi woman by the name of Empilio. She will be the one selling you a backpack for the price of around 6,200 gold. The last backpack to go over, unfortunately, doesn't seem to add to your carry weight at all, so 130 if you're going legit is probably as high as you're going to get. But I'm going to make mention of this anyway, so when you start the Legend of Deadkel DLC, you may stumble across a ruin called Gravehal Keep. You will have a lovely chain of quests to restore Gravehal Keep to its former glory and essentially become a lord of the land. Once these upgrades hit their peak, one of the merchants, Kalem Tume, whom you hire on in your main hall, will sell a backpack. But again, it doesn't appear to actually raise your carry capacity at all, and I don't believe it was fixed in the Re-Reckoning version of the game. Thankfully, 130 is a lot of carry space, and it's worth mentioning that the player stash has grown quite a bit from Reckoning to Re-Reckoning by about 150 slots. so you should have plenty of space to keep the items that you want. So tell me in the comments what kind of stuff you like to hoard in all of this carry space that you have. If you found this guide useful, entertaining, or both, please do whatever you see fit to show that. And among the things you can do is help support via patreon.com/Catogenesis. Those who support this way help keep this channel going and gain access to monthly updates where I share embarrassing stories and my face, or even embarrassing stories about my face. Speaking of patrons, thank you to Wasteland Legends Sven and my other supporters on screen now, and thank you for watching. I'm Catogenesis, and may you wander Amalur like you own it.